Wonderful. We love to hear those underdog stories. And then something that we use at the Career Center a lot, it's called the National Association of Colleges and Employers. And they have these NACE competencies, which are 8 readiness competencies that you would learn over your lifetime. So some of the competencies are leadership, communication, intercultural fluency, teamwork, things like that, something innate that you eventually grow upon. So what kind of competencies do you think you developed over your years in athletics, and how have they helped you in the professional world?
Go ahead, Jer.
Okay. Well, I think they're right along the lines of what Nikki just kind of stated. So I would say, and I rattle these off quite a bit, and it's no mistake that, like Nikki came to work at Meijer Grocer at the time. I mean, we really respect, I would argue that some of our best employees have always been like athletes or military, quite frankly.
Totally.
And there's a simple reason for that. And it's kind of what you just heard Nikki say is her resiliency. Like she's just going to keep coming back. She's not going to take no for an answer. She's just going to keep coming back. She can take, criticism. She can deal with failure, just like she did on the, like we all have in different, wherever we played our sports, and how we respond to that. I guarantee you that the athletes that we're talking to here at UVM didn't get to be Division I athletes by quitting after they had a failure somewhere along the way. They just kept coming back. So you got that's one huge attribute. The other attribute is the ability to work as a team, to recognize that you got to pull together, and there's no I in team. So I think that those are a couple of the really, really big ones that we look at and we recognize. And again, both my 2 brothers played basketball at UVM. So between the 3 of us, we really appreciated athletes like Nikki, because we just knew what we were getting. Even if we didn't know her personally, we just knew the character of the person that we were getting, and it always proved to be right. So from our perspective, from my perspective, students being student athletes is a huge addition. It's a huge addition to it. And that doesn't mean you got to wear it on your sleeve and tell us about your best games and all, but you should be proud of it, and you could actually reference it as the reason why you're going to be a great asset to the company, because of your ability to work as a team, be resilient, to take critique and respond appropriately, so those are some of the top reasons that I think an athlete makes such a great employee in any business.
Yeah, Ellie, I looked at the career readiness competencies too, and I kind of picked out 3 that I feel like my career at UVM really, really set me up for. So I just took, this is kind of fun, I just took, there's all these great personality tests that you can use in business. Myers-Briggs is one of them. We just took one via character strengths, and my number 1 strength that came out was leadership. And for me, without question, everything I learned at UVM, being a leader through adversity, I captained from the sidelines my senior season, which was like, a complete and utter knife to the heart. Like it was, I couldn't be out there and play with my teammates of 4 years that we built the team on and built our success on. We went to the America East tournament that year, and it was just so really tough for me and big adversity, and I had to lead through that, right? So without question, that the work ethic component, getting up at 5 a.m. to do your 6 a.m. workouts. And you guys are not going to remember this guy, but Jerry knows him, Paul Goodman, and he was a former NHL hockey athletic trainer. He kicked our ass in the morning at 6 a.m. and that I had to get up that early and do those workouts. Like it just gave me a commitment to the craft, to the team, to the sport, to something bigger than myself that you without a doubt will need in the business world and in working life, because I wish to God I was still out on that field. It is a safer place than where we are in today. So I would say without a doubt, those things, and that good communication, like, in my role as a chief revenue officer and I'm running an entire sales team, I'm communicating with my team, with my executive peers, and with my clients every single day. And, you have to learn, just like you learn good communication, whether it's physically on the ice or on the field, or it's communication wise and encouraging your teammates and pulling people up when they're down and all of those things. Like it's really critical to your skills as a working professional. And so just know, like Jerry said, you guys you already have that in you, and it is something that without a doubt, it's one of the first things I look for when I'm hiring, just to understand. We look at a couple of things. This is so terrible, but it's like, how many multiple siblings, like where did you fall in a multiple sibling household? And also, were you a student athlete? And because it really shows the ability to be diverse, to you come up against failures, you have to be resilient. And so I think those character strengths will carry you guys through even this next, post-COVID world that we're living in, and we're all experiencing it, and no one's experienced it before, and you guys have your work cut out for you. There's no doubt. But know that those inner skills you've honed as an athlete, can take you far.
Those are wonderful experiences, and it's also just so cool to see you guys talking about your experiences with one another and playing off of seeing each other in your athletic and business side.
I used to say, Jerry used to take the gloves off in some meetings.
Not with Nikki, I didn't.
I would tell him, we can't take the gloves off with this customer, Jerry. We can't take the gloves off.
Perfect.
And Ellie, if I can just jump in, one quick question I have just to add to the career readiness competencies is, often I feel like with students or student athletes, we have people ask about working overseas or really more that intercultural fluency competency. And I'm wondering from both of your perspectives too, how that might have shaped you. I know you were saying earlier, Jerry, you played in Italy for a bit. And I noticed in terms of other places that you've worked where you have offices or staff members working overseas. And so I'm just curious how maybe being an athlete plays, you think of being an athlete and it does bring the intercultural fluency context together of the World Cup or the NHL or whatever it is. Yeah. So what are your thoughts there from both of you?
Yeah, I think it's really important that, the Thomas Friedman book, The World is Flat. It's just becoming smaller and smaller, and you're just going to be working. I mean, so as an athlete, as a player, not only at UVM, I mean, we had, I guess it was mostly only Canadians then. I don't know if I had any Europeans on my team at that time at UVM, but certainly a handful of Canadians. And then, when I played pro, it was really interesting because I had just graduated in 89, and 90, 91 is when the Iron Curtain came down, the wall came down, for those people old enough to remember, and all these players from the communist countries, Russia and all, were coming over to our leagues and playing. And so it was a real cultural experience for me then too, to play with these kids I couldn't even speak with, but you get on the ice with, and it was really interesting. I saw a lot of the dynamics that went on there, and it wasn't always good dynamics, frankly. But I think that, that comes back to that team mentality right away. It doesn't matter who you are, where you come from. We're in this together. We're on a team, and and as Nikki pointed out, the leadership is critical there. That we pull in the same direction, and I think that if you talk to any of the athletes that have played at a high level, or even the current athletes at UVM, they'll say that the best teams they've been on usually had strong leadership, because you can have all the talent in the world, but if you're pulling in different directions, it just doesn't work. And I feel that same way about business, that you need strong leadership, and you all got to be pulling in the same direction. And cultural understandings, I think, are critical to that. Nikki can remember we had an office in India, we had an office in Dublin, Ireland, and then where was it? Romania, Nikki. Remember, with all the, so you had to kind of respect and understand the different cultures you're doing, and recognize that you're all on the same team, even if the communication wasn't easy, or the some of the cultural things, whether it's holidays or whatever, you had to be respectful of all those that you were dealing with. So I think those are all important because